modesty. And modesty is tricky. Modesty seems easy enough, being humble, not bragging, not showing off. But modesty is a lot deeper than that. Modesty is, your ability to just be able to be appropriate in your actions. And so, what we're looking for when we're talking about being modest, we're talking about extending that in the way that you dress, in the way that you behave. Now, appropriate is a big word. So, let's say like you're part of a religious group. Okay, that's where my mind immediately goes when I think of what it means to be modest. And this is based on really old ideas of modesty, like super long skirts, men in suits, different things like that. Our society doesn't really do that anymore. There's a lot of ways for us to dress appropriately without subscribing to these old archetypes of what was considered modest. So again, that adds a lot of nuance to the conversation. It adds a lot of layers. Okay. So like right now I'm getting ready to go work out. I'm getting ready to teach a class even at 11. So, what's appropriate for me to be wearing? Shorty shorts? Probably not. Nobody wants to see these legs. But like I want to be appropriate. I want to be wearing a nice, comfortable t-shirt. I should probably be wearing some shorts. I should make sure that, they're not too baggy. But I want to look like I'm ready for what it is that I'm about to do. There's an old saying like dress for the job you want. You can do that. That's not showing off. That's not doing anything else. That's you being appropriate in your mindset about the goals that you want to achieve. And that is perfectly acceptable. What about, hey, Mr. B, I'm going to a concert. I'm going out on a date. Okay, so that's where it gets really great. That's where it gets really, really heavy about being modest. Okay, because when you're out on a date or whatever it is that you're doing, you need to engage with people and you need to, be willing to answer some questions about yourself without seeming like a complete tool. You also need to be able to ask other people questions without seeming condescending. All right. These are all aspects of what it means to be modest. And so it's not just, like I said, it's not just like this rudimentary idea of not bragging, not showing off. It's about being appropriate in the situation. There are times when it's okay to be a little over the top. When I compete, I go big, man. I come correct at competition. I always say on Saturday when we're going to competition, you can be modest on Monday. Now's your time to show off. And in a competition setting, it's appropriate to elevate a little bit. Now, whether it's an amateur or a professional competition, the level of your elevation, once again, that's a nuanced conversation. That's a deep conversation about what is appropriate and what is expected of you. And so it's really something that I've been trying to force my karate kids to think about is how they can be modest in all facets of their life without adhering to these really old archetypes of how to dress, how to behave, particularly for boys and girls. Okay. So there's another big can of worms, modesty between boys and girls. For me, a lot of it boils down to what's appropriate for the situation, what's appropriate for the group that you're with. Okay. So how you act and behave and what's considered appropriate within a group of friends versus another group of friends versus with your parents. Okay. Those dynamics can change. Now, in that Venn diagram, a lot of what it means to be modest is going to transfer over. You're going to have a lot of overlap about that. But like there are certain things that in certain situations, you can kind of go a little bit harder, you know what I mean? And so it's tricky. It's a fun principle to think about. And what I really encourage all of y'all to do, if you're liking and subscribing to this channel, is that I'm really hoping that you're taking the time to really give it some thought. Be thoughtful about it. Be thoughtful about your modesty. Take a time to ask yourself a question or two. Like, is this appropriate? Is what I'm doing really the thing that I want to? But anyway, guys, that's enough of me going on a big giant rant. Anyway, if you're finding any sort of value in these conversations, in these thoughts that I'm having at all, please click like and subscribe. This video channel is going to blow up and we're going to start creating a lot more content. Anyway, I look forward to hearing from y'all. Please don't be afraid to like and subscribe. Don't be afraid to leave any questions about what you want to hear my thoughts on. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Asai.